And welcome back to the 2021 VYPE Awards. We're inducting another into our Hall of Fame coaches, Rick Lynch of Concordia Lutheran Baseball. Tremendous career, touched thousands of lives over the years. He, unfortunately passed over the winter, which really sorry for your family, our condolences. But today we have Rob Lynch, his brother. Rob, just talk about growing up. Brothers are competitive, right?
Very, very. And we were coaches' kids.
Right.
We came from a coaching family, and I was the only guy smart enough not to get into coaching.
Well said.
Rick got into it. And growing up, we moved a lot. I think we lived, before we got out of high school, we lived in 8 different homes. Dad started here in HISD, which is still near and dear to our heart. And then we went to high school in Lawton, Oklahoma. And Rick was a baseball guy, and I was a football and track and field guy. I pretended to be a football guy, but it's more the track and field guy.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was very competitive growing up.
So give me some anecdotal stories. When y'all were growing up, was he kind of the baseball guy? And, was he older or younger?
No, we're twins. We were, yeah, there you go. There's a little bit for today.
Perfect.
And, yeah, we were twins. And a good story, when we were in high school, my track coach would drive the bus by our house and pick us up and take us to the track meets, and he'd drop us off at the house. And so Rick this is the coach coming out at him in a long time. So he went to the track coach and said, "You do realize this is not good for your program and it's not good for them." And I said, "Rick, what are you doing? I got a bird nest on the ground." And so that's probably one of the better coaching stories. But he would always organize things as we were growing up. When we were living in Port Lavaca, we had a pony league coach that wasn't very dedicated to what we were doing.
Right.
And Rick basically took over our pony league team and coached our pony league team. And when the guys showed up, Rick said, "This is what we're doing tonight." And it just grew. And he loved coaching. He loved being around kids. And, he worked in professional baseball for a little while. But his heart and soul was in baseball with high school kids.
I remember him being at Tomball and then being at Concordia Lutheran. His coaching career really spanned several different places. Talk about where he ended up.
Well, when he ended up at Concordia, which he loved, and he had a really good team coming back at Tomball.
Right.
And so there was a lot of thought, and him and Nancy talked it over, and Nancy said, "Look, this is a pretty good offer over at Concordia. I don't care how good they're going to be. We're going to Concordia right now," because he was going to be able to take retirement and also take a salary from Concordia. And they did build the facility that they said they were going to build. So he was quite happy there.
The field is now called Rick Lynch Field, which is really a blessing, also super cool. Just talk about what you saw was his kind of style of coaching, and did it change over the years?
Well, to say he was old school is an understatement, because he was old school when he was in the 10th grade, and he was old school when he was last year at Concordia. And it's funny how some of the guys would come back and say, "Coach, you were so much easier on us," or "You were so much easier on us," and they'd go, No, I'm just as hard on these guys as I was on you." So he would always be accused of being easier on the next class, but I don't think that ever happened. He was a pretty hard guy.
What do you attribute his success to over the years? Just the longevity of his success as well.
Well, I think he loved what he was doing.
Yeah.
He loved being around kids. He loved coaching, but more importantly, I think it was a bigger thrill for him when guys would come back and say they'd been successful in something other than baseball. It was very important for him that they learned to play the game, that they respected the game, and that they also that they were gentlemen when they played, and they did well in school when they left. And I think he got a bigger thrill out of that, guys coming back and say, "I'm successful, I'm married, and I have kids," than he got out of a guy coming back that was a #1 draft pick.
What's interesting, talking to some of those guys, we do stories on Concordia Lutheran. They had a great year this year, and Sean Fitzpatrick, who's their star, says, "Hey, Coach Lynch told us just get 1% better every day," and he continues to take that, as he plays now, and he'll be a player at Arkansas years to come. But just the legacy that he left was so powerful. When they dedicated the field and they had the memorial service of the service there, what was that like?
Well, it was very special because my mom and dad are both still alive. And so for them to be able to enjoy that, obviously nobody wants to lose their son, but for them to be able to come back and enjoy seeing their son honored like that, it was really special. And I'll tell you honestly, it really helped the healing process for my dad as long as he coached and the many places he coached. But to have the field named after you, if you're a coach, it doesn't get any better than that.
You're right. Well, all that he deserves. We're going to miss him. Rick Lynch is the Hall of Fame inductee for this upcoming year. This is twin brother Rob Lynch. Hey, thanks for the time.
Hey, thank you guys. You know, Rick respected anybody that supported high schools, and you guys did. And one of his big things was he would always talk about the commitment that kids make, and for you guys to honor what the kids were doing. He really appreciated that.
All right, so let's get back to the 2021 VYPE Awards presented by Houston Methodist Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.